So when trains were running from Oswestry from the 60s to the late 80s, the track would have ran through here down towards Wales and Cluncliffe. There was no station here originally, it was just some goods sheds which are on the side here. But today we're looking at building a new platform and engaging the track so we can have passenger trains running from Oswestry down to Weston. The platform will begin here and move along down there where you can see those concrete blocks. The track itself will run alongside the platform to allow passengers to get off onto the platform. But actually interesting, unlike at Oswestry at the moment, the engine on the front of the platform will come down here along over a point. We'll have another track going where the engine will go down there, reattached to the carriages at the front of the train, so the engine can go back to Oswestry with the engine at the front rather than at the back, which is of course what we want when we're running passengers. It's a lot safer to have the engine at the front rather than the guard having to watch out for any problems at the track ahead. So obviously, as you can see, the platform isn't actually constructed yet, but this is what will form the base of the platform. It's all very modern, it's all in block form, so they should just fit together nicely, and then build the actual top of the platform separately. So we've got two sidings here. These were the first sort of bits of track that were put down. The far siding will have a buffet car and a shop carriage. As there's no station house here, there's just the two goods sheds. There needs to be somewhere for the passengers to sit when they're obviously not on the train. So those two carriages will sit there, buffet car, shop car. Once they're there, they won't be moved again, and that'll be somewhere for the passengers to sit while they wait for the train to take them back to Oswestry. So I've talked about the far siding, that will have the buffet car and the shop carriage. This is the nearest siding. This will just be used to store any wagons, carriages or trains that aren't currently in use on the day. So this is as far as we've gone at the moment. Obviously with the platform not being constructed, it's all a bit of a waiting game. The platform has to be built before we can go any further with the track. As you can imagine, once you've got the track in, it makes it very difficult to get things over to the other side and make it difficult for the builders to build the platform. So it does make it difficult working in such a small environment. You've got to be careful that you don't build track too far and block things in. The reason they're moving the rail today is because with the track being built, we don't really want things in this middle section here because it makes it very difficult to get at once the track is in place. So today's job is moving rail from the ground onto the flatbed, and that will be taken down and stored down the bit of single track. We can get the rail out of the way. That's not going to be used here. We're using a different type of rail for the running line at Weston. So what we call the bullhead rail will be moved out of the way for now, and we're going to maybe use it for a siding down on the main track, single track, as another project later on. But it's important, like I said before, to clear the site as much as possible, especially when we're building that track. So at the moment we're using the advantage of having a bit of space where there's no track there at the moment to get that rail out of the site. So these are a load of sleepers that we've had delivered over the project. Of course, many elements to building the track, sleepers, rail, all of that needs to be brought here. There was very little track here in the first place. That was all taken up before we started the project. So all the track that you do see has been laid by volunteers. And all of these sleepers get delivered. We then have to sort through the sleepers to decide which ones we want to use. And they all get lifted onto the lorry, brought down, craned off onto the ground, then have the rails put on. Not all of these will be used. Once the project's finished, these will be taken away. Eventually, there'll actually be a second platform here with a footbridge. The footbridge is currently in Oswestry, that will be brought here. So eventually we'll have a up platform and a down platform as well. So as well as the second platform that will form the sort of third element of the project, the embankment down there, we're hoping to grass and plant some trees and flowers, make it look a bit less like a construction site. So in time that will look very nice indeed. So Oswestry is in that direction. At the moment we do run passenger trains. They don't go as far as Weston obviously, but the line does connect now to Oswestry, and hopefully in a few weeks we'll have this running line connected up as well, which is all getting closer to getting passenger trains down here from Oswestry.